Hey guys, this is Jay from Jay02 Reviews with another video or review of a game that came out on the Wii U, but the Wii U didn't do the best at the time. So I'm gonna be reviewing its new port with an extra bit of an extra story campaign called Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This game should be pretty known. It is a Mario game, so you should know if you do like video games. With that, guys, let's get started on my 3D World Super Mario plus Bowser's Fury review. So, basically, in Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, I'm going to go over Super Mario 3D World first, because it's not really the main thing I want to talk about, even though it is a big part of the game. Super Mario 3D World was on the Wii U, and I really enjoyed my time with it. It was a great game that had I never thought Mario could really be in a 3D environment, because at this point, I really still hadn't played that many 3D Mario games. I know that Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64 were out at the time, and they've been out for a long time, ever since Super Mario 3D World had coming out. But I just never got around to playing them as much as I did with Super Mario 3D World, at least not as polished as 3D World was. So I really did enjoy my experience with it. The bosses are amazing. I really like how you get to have the Katsu, and then you could climb up the pole at the end, so you could have the flagpole and get all the points. I really did like that about this game, along with the fact that Bowser has a car for some reason. I really did enjoy just the little aspects of it, the little things that showed innovation from Nintendo, and that's not considering that there were other games that had a lot of innovation at the time that were Mario. But at the time, this is what I thought had a lot of innovation, because I hadn't played anything else at the time. I know that it might have been a sequel to 3D Land that came out on the 3DS, which I did have, and I picked up later after I played 3D World. But I enjoyed 3D World a lot more than 3D Land, and that's just my opinion on it. But I do really like 3D World. I love the gameplay. I love how you get the Katsu, but basically in every Mario game you get a new power up. So I do really like that. I like how the Katsu can give you a lot of new capabilities to progress through the game, to get to secret areas in the game. 3D World had something that I know that 3D Land probably didn't, and that's probably because it was a new game, new story and stuff. But I love how it acts like a 3D Mario game, and it is in some sense, but it's not like what Bowser's Fury was. And Bowser's Fury was very fun too, but I love how the 2D style 3D aspect of it, I find it very fun. It reminds me so much of Crash Bandicoot, and no, it's not perfectly like Crash Bandicoot, but it just reminds me of the 2D, 3D aspects of it, how it changes from those 2D platforming to 3D platforming. It's just very fun to see that happen in a Mario game. And then as I played through it, I kind of got better at it, because this was one of my first Mario 3D games. And not to say that Mario Odyssey is way, way better than this, but it is still a great 3D Mario game that I really would play over and over again. I remember having my Wii U when it was still hooked up, wanted to just play through the Bowser's car boss fight multiple times, because I found that so fun to see Bowser in a car, and it was just a fun boss fight that I never seen before, because I'm used to just fighting Bowser on a regular in a way stage where he just, I don't know, either becomes big or something and then starts to attack you. But this was something new, and then you could use the cat power to get him extra damage. I just love how that boss fight, to me, it just showed a lot of how much Nintendo thought about the game, and it might have not been that, but it's just very cool to see that happen, especially, and then it being taken further into Mario Bowser's Fury Edition, that extra little small campaign that was added to 3D World on the Switch, which I will be talking about in a second. But before I do, I really love 3D World. I love its aspects of it, the 2D, 3D animation, platforming, and the best part about Super Mario 3D World was that it was a game that I've had for a long time, and it's a game I've played through for a long time. And I really love how they made this game. I really like its animation, or the way the Mario moves, the power-ups and everything. I really love this game, and now I guess let's move on to the extension that I really like. Spoiler alert. Called Bowser's Fury. And if you haven't picked up the game already, it's not like it's a major Mario spoiler, because when does Mario have like major spoilers? But if you have not played it and you want to play it, I guess don't watch this part of the video. And or if you didn't have Super Mario 3D World, don't watch that part of the video. So you should still watch it, but I'm just gonna keep going. So Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury came with an extra mini campaign that, at the time, was had a lot of controversy over it on what it is and what I did a whole discussion video on it that did do pretty good. So I really liked that people watched it, and Super Mario 3D World was one adventure that I really love, and Super Mario plus Bowser's Fury was the campaign itself was something else I really loved about this game. I love how Bowser looks. They made him look so much like scarier, and looks like how someone would expect someone named Bowser to look. He looks scary and everything, and it just reminds me so much of when I played it on my 3DS, because I did have Super Mario Bros. 2, and I liked the boss fight where Bowser becomes this big monster and he tries to get you. But this brought it to a whole other level, because you get to have a special power up in this part, and it's called the Giga Bell. The Giga Bell simply just makes the cat is like the cat power times 10, and it is something I really liked about Bowser's Fury, how you can fight Bowser on a toe-to-toe basis. This toe-to-toe basis being you fighting Bowser one-on-one, where it is like that mostly, but to a greater extent this time, because this time you're the exact size of Bowser, so you could take him on, unless you don't have the Giga Bell, where in that I would suggest you run for your life, because you're gonna die in that part. You're probably gonna die in it if you have never played a Mario game or 3D World before. You might die in it, but I digress. Everything in Bowser's Fury is sort of collected in order for you to get the Giga Bell. You collect these cat chimes that you find all around this whole open world area. It reminded me a lot of Super Mario Odyssey, but with the same style that 3D World had. Like the same mechanics, certain things that were added into it. Certain things are definitely new in the game, utilizing the cat power and everything, but other things are just references from 3D World that were brought into it. I really like how you have Bowser Jr. I guess if you play 2 players, you could play as him with a playable character, but he helps you a lot. And the best part is you could choose how much he helps you. You could choose if he helps you a little bit, you could choose if he helps you a lot, because you might be new to a Mario game, and then Bowser's Fury itself is a pretty easy campaign. It only took me about like an hour and 30 minutes to complete, but but even after that, I'm not like the completionist type, so I don't play games to their fullest, but I do sometimes go back. I felt like I had to complete this game because of the fact of how many cat chimes there were and how easy they were to come by. And then also, for completionists, the reward you get is pretty cool too. You'll get to become Giga Cat Mario when you turn to a cat. And then also, I believe Bowser's hair turns white whenever he comes up in the game. So just to show like you completed it. So it's just a nice bonus to have if you do want to complete the game. And the collectibles are all over the place. You'll find them everywhere. Sometimes you'll get certain quests to get those cat chimes, and sometimes you'll just find them around along the way. Some certain ones, like the Fury blocks, are blocks that can only be destroyed by Bowser, but the whole purpose of it is so that you can wait till he comes. They're like the last like objective you have to get. And in these little hub world areas, there's these lighthouses, and the more cat shines you get that are from the lighthouse, the more they will light up. And if you light them all up, that's how you know you completed that area of the game. And that is something that I really wanted to try to do in this game, but I just wanted to finish it, so I have my initial thoughts ready to do this review video. But I definitely will be trying to complete this eventually, very soon, because it really is, it keeps you hooked on the game, and it's not something that I feel like you should look over with collecting in this game, and especially Bowser Jr. helping you along the way. It wouldn't be that hard. He helps enough when you click a little bit of help, but I can't imagine what he would do if he helped a lot. He would probably take out all the enemies. So it's just very fun to see. And then the story's not like completely complex. Bowser got transformed by this goo, which does vaguely remind me of the goo from of the stuff from Mario Sunshine. I don't know why, but he gets transformed into this monster by the goo, and Bowser Jr. needs your help to stop it. And I really like the way this story is set up, but it's a little simple, but nothing too complex. But I like that. I like that it's not complex, and it doesn't. Usually they're not, but I didn't understand what was controlling Bowser at first, or what was happening. So it's just like it's a good story. That's what I'm trying to say. Simple story, not too complex, definitely not as complex that you'll be scratching your head with like Legend of Zelda content that I've done before. But it is a good story, and at the end of the day, it's a very good game that I would really recommend you play. Both of the games are very good. I really hope you play them if you do get a chance to. And with that, guys, this is the end of the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to J02 Reviews, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.